Hello and welcome to PTE Academic Speaking Sectional Improvement Test 1 by Veracity Mentors. The test duration is 35 minutes. You would require a sound recorder. You can just switch it on when you begin the test, and at the end, at 35 minutes, you can then stop and save the file. In the middle, you should not be looking at anything but the test screen. Um, you would need a pen and paper to sort of simulate the whiteboard, the erasable notebook booklet that you get, especially for retail lecture question type. For all other directions, what you need to do will be given on the top of the screen, and I will just explain the timers and how to use them. If you are someone who is a first time test taker, you should pay attention to these directions. Now, if you are a repeat test taker, you will already know the format of the test and you will be comfortable with it. So the top of the screen will mention what you need to do. The preparation time, that is before the recording begins, how much time do you have, that will be reflected in the form of a red colored circle. So when there is a red circle moving on the screen, or there's a red timer bar happening, that time you don't have to speak. There will be a beeping sound which indicates that now you can begin speaking, and as you begin speaking there is going to be a green colored response time bar or a circle which will show, and that green bar, you should speak your answer, you should finish your answer before the green timer is completed. Good luck, all the best. Let's get started.
Or you could just tell your professor what happened and try to get an extension. A lower grade on a good paper is still better than the grade you'd get if you just put something together in one day.
Describe the man's problem and the two suggestions that his friend makes about how to handle it.
The man's problem is that he has a report due tomorrow, but the document on his laptop's lost. His friend suggests that he take his laptop to the computer lab. She thinks that someone might be able to help him restore the document.
Any student applying to study history or any of its joint courses at Oxford will need to take the History Aptitude Test. The HAT is a 2-hour written test in which you'll read extracts from texts and answer some questions about them. We're not looking to test you on any specific historical knowledge, but we want to get a sense of the skills you would bring to the study of the past. The test normally takes place in the first week of November, but the registration deadline is earlier, usually mid-October, and registration opens in September. Registration is easy and free. If you attend a school or college, speak to your exams officer to make sure that your school is registered as an authorised test centre. If you aren't attending school or college at the moment, you can take the test at any one of our authorised centres around the world. How can you prepare for the HAT? Well, the good news is that you already have, through your studies and coursework. Many students find it helpful to practice on old exams, which are available for free on the faculty website. You'll also find an example of the marking scheme, which will give you a sense of the sort of qualities we're looking for in an Oxford historian. Remember though, there's no one magic formula for success in the HAT, and it's just one part of the overall application process. Everything you need to know is online via these links to take you one step closer to study at Oxford. So why not throw your hat in the ring?
I'm an organic chemist. One of the things that means is that as I walk through the world, I see it as a world filled with organic molecules. All of us are literally awash in thousands of different organic chemicals every day, but most of the time we don't give them a thought. The names of these general classes of organic compounds are easy enough to recognize. They are the foods we eat, fats and carbohydrates, drugs that we may take, like antidepressants, painkillers, hormones. They are vitamins, they are dyes and pigments, they are flavor and fragrance components. They're all around us all the time. Many animals pay much more attention to organic chemicals than humans do. This is principally because, as humans navigate their way through life, we rely on our senses of sight and sound, whereas other animals have a much more highly refined sense of smell, and their form of communication is much more chemical in nature. One class of these chemical communicating agents are called the pheromones. Many species secrete a sex attractant pheromone to communicate that they are ready to mate. This ultimate aphrodisiac can have a very powerful effect. For example, the female gypsy moth, when she's ready to mate, secretes only about 5/billionths of a gram of her sex attractant pheromone. The male detects this using his antennae, and from a distance of up to 4 miles away can follow the thin trail of scent all the way to the waiting female. That story has a happy ending because he gets lucky. A similar system allows pigs to find truffles underground. By pure coincidence, the black truffle produces a compound which is identical to a saliva component that the male pig produces to induce females to mate. The female pig is so good at detecting this compound that she can smell a black truffle buried under 3 feet of dirt. So what did you do today? Did you take a painkiller or an antibiotic? Did you make yourself smell nice with a puff of perfume or wake up with a cup of coffee? Or maybe you're thinking about that dinner of black truffles and pasta. If so, welcome to the molecular world of organic chemistry.
Antibodies are large proteins produced by B cells, and they have an important role in your immune system. They're also known as immunoglobulins, abbreviated IG, but we're just going to call them antibodies. Let's take a look at the structure. First are the two large hinged heavy chains. These are joined by sulfur atoms in something called a disulfide bridge. Next are the two light chains, and these are known as kappa or lambda, and in any given antibody they're both identical. At the very ends are the variable binding regions. These actually grab epitopes, which are little recognizable bits on invaders, and they're called paratopes, so keys in locks. So along comes an antigen and it gets stuck, and this makes the immune system able to recognize the invader and to mount a successful attack.
My name is Mary Bosworth and I do research in immigration detention centres. I'm the only academic researcher who the government allows in, and I've gathered all sorts of different kinds of information about what it's like to be detained. By the time somebody gets to detention, they have in all likelihood told their story many times to a civil servant and have not been believed. And so when you go in as a researcher and you chat to people and you want to know where they're from and what their experience has been and how did they get to detention, it feels very often that you're just replicating the Home Office interview. One of the things that the art project does is it actually gives you a much quicker way into that, because people will be representing things that are meaningful to them. So I started spending time in the art rooms of different centres, and I was very interested in the kinds of things that detainees were making. In talking about art work, I've got a lot more understanding of people's voyages over, family life, their experience as young people in their country of birth. Some of the most moving, I think, images that I've collected have been produced by young Afghani men, and they often do these very flat landscape paintings, and then somewhere in the background there will be a military helicopter or a guy with a Kalashnikov. So there's this representation of violence within this image of rural bliss, in a way, which happens over and over again. So some of those items they now give to me, and I've made a collection here in Oxford. And the aspiration for the collection is that it will provide a way for future researchers and also artists to access the interiors of these hidden sites. These are part of British society, and so we should be in them. We shouldn't be letting them stay closed off.
To find out more and discover other bright ideas, visit the Oxford University Social Science page, where ideas have impact.
In case of a fire alarm in a building, what is the name of the cylindrical object that you can use to put out the fire? In which type of schools will there be a better girls to boys ratio? A single sex education school or a co-educational school? In which season are you most likely to wear a woolen overcoat? Refrigerators are used to store what type of items? Would a village, a town, or a city have the maximum number of bookshops? What is the name of the educational institution where a student who has just passed high school will go to study? The study of different planets and celestial objects is known as? Name a country near the Atlantic Ocean. Students generally travel to school by? You wait for the train here. This is the end of the Sexual Improvement Test 1. I hope that you found it really helpful. Subscribe to the channel for more material and updates.